I'd like to open this evening with a karakia. Whakataka te hau ki te uru, whakataka te hau ki te tōnga. Kia makina kina ki uta, kia mataratara ki tai. E hi ake ana te atakura, he tio, he hoka, e hao hu, te hei maariora. I chose that karakia for the imagery that it conveys that seemed quite appropriate to the proceedings tonight, and for the genesis of this book, which I will talk about, and then we're going to have Peter and Grant talking to us. But I'll give you the translation. It's not a literal translation, but it's one that conveys the meaning. Cease the winds from the west, cease the winds from the south. Let the breeze blow over the land, let the breeze blow over the ocean. Let the red-tipped dawn come with a sharpened air, a touch of frost, a promise of a glorious day. Behold, there is life. And to me, that conveys the idea of sort of getting rid of the distractions and calming the space so that we can receive something new this evening. Now, I want to tell you a bit about what I saw about the genesis of this book, because I've been working alongside Grant for a while. In August of last year, 200 people gathered at Waitangi to celebrate the bicentenary of the arrival of Richard Davis and his family in the Bay of Islands. And Grant and I were two of the speakers. Davis is Grant's and my ancestor in common. So in the lead up to that gathering, Grant had the great idea of transcribing all the journals for Richard Davis, and then he got a little bit enthusiastic and went on and did a few more, because we were referring to those for our research, and we thought it would be great if we had better access to them and made that access available to other researchers as well. So that was Grant going down to the Hocken library, camera copying every page, then he'd send me a bundle of JPEGs, and we would do an OCR transcription into Word. And for some of the pages, that worked okay. If they were clean, they were double spaced typing, just select, copy, paste, check, next page. But some of them were not. They were single spaced, they had crossouts, and when you did the select, you could see a whole lot of words didn't pop up, and they jumbled them all in order, and so it was a big job going through and correcting, filling in the spaces, and sometimes completely retyping. I suppose I was rather task-focused, and I was just plugging on, get these pages done. And I would mark some of the pages if I thought that was something I wanted to go back to and use in my research. Whereas Grant got rather captivated by one day in 1825. But it was a contrast, this thing about sweeping away the distraction of the work that I was focused on, and he had seen this page that I really stepped over the top of. So when you do an exercise like that, you engage in a really close reading, and Grant just got stuck on this page, and you saw so much in it that I hadn't picked up. But it was a simple conversation on the surface of it. A group of Māori and a group of missionaries, and one of the missionaries was translating the conversation, English into Māori, Māori into English, and then another missionary was writing them down. So it was a recorded conversation, not as we record it today with a camera. But there was that snippet that Grant, I saw Grant really grasping and wanting to run with. Now, other historians have used that snippet as an example or evidence for the work that they're doing, but in Grant's case, he was focusing on the conversation itself. And the other night, I think it was Jeff, talked about a microhistory, and I think I might call it a microscopic history, something under the microscope. And then when you do that, you see there's all this detail, but you can also sort of pan out and see where that came from. And in so doing, I think, Grant, you used your listening skills. Mm-hmm. It was a conversation that you were actually listening to rather than just reading, to reveal a bigger picture.